All right, guys and gals. I'm about to paint the cut-ins on the 76 280Z. I have everything kind of laid out in my little makeshift garage paint booth. I have it tightly squeezed in here, so that way I can get everything painted in one shot. Do all the cut-ins. Everything's pulled apart. Everything's kind of taped and seamed off. So I have I'll be able to get everything painted. I'm not going to film the painting just because I don't have the battery life, nor, there's plenty of online videos of painting. I have my little 3-fan setup right there. You can kind of see they're all blown out to my garage. I have the 2 cardboard boxes, and then I have my house door to my house cracked open like a foot, so it'll kind of suck air, hopefully air with less humidity out of the house, and kind of bring it in here because it's like pushing over 80 degrees already. Yeah, it's about 80 degrees in here, and I can feel the humidity already starting to creep in here, so trying to keep that all down to a low. I taped off everything I could just to kind of reduce the amount of sanding I have to do, because when I put it all back together and paint the whole car at once, because I'm doing a pearl, I can't paint it in pieces. I have to paint it all together. So I'm doing all the cut-ins under the hood, under the doors, all the edges, so that way I can just slap it together and paint it all in one shot. I'm gonna have to do the bumper later. I have my little rack here with hanging some stuff, so that way I can just paint it while it's hanging there, like the door hinges. And I pulled out the battery tray just because I don't feel like fighting around it with the paint gun. So I'll have to reinstall that once I get there. The hinges. I'm gonna be painting it with Auto Paint HQ. I got the jet black base coat, and then I have the cherry pearl black cherry base coat, and then I have the super wet show clear. It comes with pretty good instructions about everything. Instructions for the base coat paint, and then it comes with clear coat, and then it comes with the candy pearl base coat instructions. So then it comes like a step 1, step 2. So it's pretty cool how they lay it out. I talked to the guy. Yeah, seems real knowledgeable. Got some tack cloths. My little respirator. I'm going to be painting it with my Master Pro series right here. So I like this gun. I've painted with it a bunch. It's kind of dirty, but the only time I didn't use it was when I needed the bigger tips for like the polyester primer and stuff. But yeah, this is kind of it. I got my plastic up all around, my air hose. Got the motor covered real good. This is about as much as I could jam in here. I was going to get an inflatable booth, but I was like, it's hard to justify spending, close to $1,000 for a booth and fans and stuff if I'm only going to need it once. Because I'm telling you one thing, after all this, it's going to be a long time before I build another car like this. But yeah, this is it. I'll check in periodically as I go through. But I'm going to do 2 or 3 coats of base, 2 or 3 coats of pearl, and then 2 or 3 coats of clear. And like I said, I'm just going to do my goal this morning is to get the cut-ins done. I taped off as much as I could, like I said before, just so I had the least amount of sanding. So I'll turn on the fans and kind of go about it. I'll have to show you my air system setup, but you can see the I have a whole bunch of lights hooked up because the garage only had the two light bars. So, but then I installed all these other ones, LED ones, just to make it brighter. Because that was another thing about the paint booth, was like, I'm gonna have to go install a bunch of lights, and I didn't want to mess with all that. So I have my air compressor set up through here, kind of runs over my garage to kind of get the moisture out of the air, and I have a 3-phase filter on the other side of the plastic there. I'll have to show you later. But yeah, so this is gonna be it. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit once I get some paint down, and we'll kind of go from there. Thanks. All right, guys. Got 3 coats of the jet black down. I think it turned out pretty good. All the cut-ins and all the backside of everything. I think it turned out pretty good. So I didn't tape some of the paper well enough, so around the door on the other side was blowing off and stuff. But that's 3 coats. There's some more plastic glue off. I don't really care if it gets in the car, there's nothing in there. I was just trying to get, here's where the plastic blew off. So I'll have to see something about that. But yeah, so everything turned out pretty good. Got the gun dialed in pretty quickly. These 3 fans are doing a phenomenal job of airing out the place. And my compressor is doing a good job keeping up. So everything's working out. So I got a dent there. But as long as the top's good, I guess. I said give it 20-30 minutes between base coats, or 15 minutes between each coat, so I did that. By the time I got down to the other side, it'll probably a good 10-15 minutes in itself. So I'm trying to get the mount right. I think if I do two 600 milliliters, so 1200 milliliters will give me 1 coat. So 1200 milliliters for 1 coat of all cut-ins. Like I said, this is the hardest part with everything in here, trying to squeeze around here as I went through without touching anything, and so it kind of made it a little bit tricky. But once I do the outside coat, I got my cut-ins here, got my hinges, all my hinges. I fully painted those, but I didn't mean to. I just meant to do the cut-ins on them. So I'll have to sand them. I kind of forgot what I was doing with those as I was going around just painting everything. And the one thing I did forget to do, I forgot to cut out the gas tank thing here. So, because I have to do the outside with the car so it matches. So what I'll probably have to do is I'll probably have to do the inside. Do them both at the same time. So like open it up, spray it when I do the outside. I got the cut-ins here all done. So they're all good. I'm about to lay down a few coats of this cherry pearl, candy pearl black cherry base coat. It looks pretty neat. I didn't use a whole lot of this base coat, maybe half of the gallon, maybe not even half the gallon for the cut-ins. So I have plenty to do the outside of the car, because I think I'll use actually less of it probably on the outside of the car. I'm not going to do the cut-ins because you're wasting a lot when you do cut-ins, overspray and stuff like that. So yeah, I got my gun working great. I got it dialed in after a few minutes. I cleaned her up already, ready for the candy pearl. The candy pearl has the same instructions. I'm using a 1.4 tip. It says 1.3 to 1.5. 27 psi. I'm about 27, 28. I actually lowered it a little bit with the gun as I dialed it in. I'm probably sitting around 25, I think, by now. And I did 3 coats of the black. So, and it's getting hotter outside, but like I said, I'm pulling house air. I'm pulling air from the house. It's actually, the temperature's lowered a little bit in here since I've had the door to the house out open. So I'm pulling AC air from inside the house that's hopefully has no humidity in it, you know, or less humidity in it, because it's really humid out. So those fans are pulling it, and I'm hoping it's pulling. It feels like cooler in here now than it was, so I got a feeling it is pulling from the house. So it's really good to have. So it's pulling from the house, and I have the whole room in there blocked off so it doesn't no overspray. But these fans are doing an excellent job pulling the overspray out. I have no issues with that. You can see when I spray, you can see the overspray just float to those fans, and it takes it right out. So yeah, so no humidity in here is pretty good. So it gives me high hopes when I do the outside, you know, the important part. Doing the same thing, and plus I won't have all these stands. I'll have just the car, maybe like a couple little pieces to do, but it should work out really well when I do the outside, and I'll be able to walk around it easier and stuff like that. But yeah, all right, I'll check in. Let me get 3 coats of this candy down, and then I gotta do like 3 coats of the clear. And they didn't give me as much clear. They gave me like a gallon jug with like the activator, a 4-to-1, so it's a gallon and a quarter. So we'll see how that goes. I might tighten up my spray to kind of save some of the overspray, because I'm not sure if I can do all this and that, since I used half a gallon on this. Or yeah, I don't know if I'll have enough clear. So I'll have to look to see what it does. But all right, I'll check back in later.